Gary V's hiring and firing methodology. What's happening? It's Erik J. Olson. If you're not familiar with Garyvee, that is a screen name, if you will, for an entrepreneur named Gary Vaynerchuk. He runs a large digital marketing agency that caters to Fortune 500s, and he's all over the world at this point. He started off in New York City, but he's got offices everywhere. He goes by Gary V. And I used to really kind of binge on his content. I see him online a lot, but I don't actively consume him quite as much as I used to. But one of the things that I did hear and watch on his videos a long time ago that has stuck with me is his concept for hiring and firing. Now, I don't go all in on his concept, but I did want to share what it is because there are definitely elements that I have taken on while running Array Digital and that I think could be beneficial to you. So when it comes to hiring someone, when he comes across someone that he just likes, there's something clicks there, and he asks the person, "Hey, the job that I'm looking for is you need to do A, B, and C." If the person says, "I can do that," then Gary V will hire them on the spot. Now he has a very large, very rapidly growing agency. He probably always has a need for lots of different positions, and so he will hire them immediately, very, very quick to hire, which is just the opposite of what we heard or what we've been taught, I should say, in business folklore, I guess you can kind of call it. That you should always be slow to hire. You should take your time, get to know the person, interview them 20 times, have the whole team interview them. So, like the whole interview process, there's pros and cons to it. But the interview process is you're trying to get a sense of what the person is like before you hire them. Gary Vee's approach is different. He just asks them, "Can you do this?" And if they say yes, he takes them at their word and he brings them on. Now, there's a flip side to this, which is when they come on and he discovers they can't do what they said they could do, that's grounds for firing. So he's very quick to take people at their word, but then he holds them to that word. So, I was speaking with someone at the gym about this concept, and he is in the business of painting. And he says he does this all the time, and it has fundamentally improved his business. He will hire any painter that comes to him and says, "Yes, I can paint. I'm an awesome painter. I can cut in, I can do big walls, I can do windows, whatever." And he says, "All right, cool. I need someone. You're hired." And that's it. There is no interview process. That's it. But on the first day, if he finds out they can't paint, he fires them with justification. And here's why. You said you could paint. You can't paint. I'm looking at your paint job. You can't paint like you said you could. So it's an interesting concept, and I do apply this a lot here to Ray Digital, where someone says they can do a job, whether they've been in the job for a while or they're new to the job. If they say they can do something and they don't, you need to hold them to that, right? So let's say that you hire, like an easy example is a salesperson, because they're very easy. It's very easy to hold a salesperson accountable. They have a quota. Let's say the quota is $1,000 a month, right? I'm just using a round number here. They have to sell $1,000 a month in your offering. If you tell them in the interview process your quota is going to be $1,000 a month, can you do that? And they say yes, I can do that. Cool. When you hire them, there should be no excuses why they can't hit $1,000. As a matter of fact, you could very easily you could say, "Hey, you told me you could sell $1,000 and you sold zero last month. That's a problem." It's also the same for existing employees in lots of different positions. They're in a position because they said that they could do the job and they said they had the skills. And if it turns out they can't, then you need to hold them accountable. Now, I'm not saying you should fire them, right? But you need to work with them for sure. But if they say that they could do it and then they can't, that's all the justification you need for some sort of change. Um, Again, I'm not saying always fire someone because they can't do it, but something needs to change because you need to get back to the expectation, not do what most business owners do and change their expectations. Don't lower your expectations because an employee failed to deliver what they said they could. And not only just an employee, It could be a freelancer. It could be a client. You should not reduce your expectations because someone cannot fulfill the promise that they made to you. Hold them accountable. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey: How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you could apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.